So, but yeah, we can get started. Go ahead, Paul.
Nice. All right, guys, welcome. We're so excited to have all of you. For us, it's really been a big passion project. Even before anything was announced, Greg was building virtual playa, and it's a great opportunity to have all of you. And it's just incredible to see everyone working so hard. I was actually scrolling through all of the worlds in Altspace and just seeing there's like someone in the world tinkering, adding a couch here, curtains, and like it really feels like build week. You know, you come a little early and you get to see what it's like before the games begin.
Can I tell a story real quick, very short story?
It's freaking awesome.
I was in Altspace before any of this was going on, and I had come across the Black Rock City thing Greg was building, and in my head I was like, oh, isn't this cute? Someone's a fan of Burning Man, and they're like building it there. I had no idea. I had no idea.
Sucked you right in.
Fast forward 6 years later, and here we are, and it's happening. And it's incredible. I'm just looking at the sheet right now. We have 88 camps and worlds that are going to be placed on the playa this year.
Wow.
And there's still more coming down the pipeline. So you know, we'll know kind of when the gates open how many are there. So this call, it's really about meeting all of you. I know you guys are all you know, this call is intended for people who have a world or have you know, something that they want to do inside of the digital playa in BRCvr. And so we're here to answer any questions that you have. Everyone who has a world should have gotten an email to a guide. That guide should be your Bible for anything to events, so that people know the kind of what, when, where, to actually scheduling an event in the Altspace portal so that people can see it on the menu and then we can promote it. Setting up the event, so actually all the sound checks and the pre-planning. You know, imagine coming to a stage before the show begins and really making sure the sound works, making sure all the videos are playing right, and all of the decor is there. It's really what this guide helps you do. And then finally, something that we've been doing the last few weeks is we've been having an event and party in different worlds, and we've been broadcasting them to social media. So we either put it on my page, on the BRCvr page, so that anyone who doesn't have access to Altspace can also see what it's like to really be inside of the world, talk to people. We did a few interviews, we did a few tours, and you know, and show what the party's like, or whatever the event is like inside of your world. So I hope you guys have had a time to look it over. I have a few things that I just want to point out in the guide that are highlighted or bolded that are really important. So the first one is, and this was in the email, add programming. So you have a spreadsheet and it has a list of what could happen hour by hour. We really encourage you to put something in those wares, because that will automatically import it to a master sheet. So if someone's on the playa and they're like, what's happening at 2 o'clock on Wednesday? Something that's happening in your camp show up in the master. Even if you have a 24-hour stream happening, or if you just have music playing, or there's like, you know, someone can make popcorn in your camp, just put that. You can make popcorn in this camp. So on the first column, it's the column of the sheet it's the A column. So don't change the A column, because that will automatically pull into the master. If you want to add more columns, we've had some camps who say, hey, I have 3 stages. 3 things are happening simultaneously. We recommend adding more columns, D, E, and F, and putting those stages there. Don't ever change column A, because that's the one that's going to be showing that. Any questions on that? You can unmute yourself and ask at this time.
I've got a question. You said, was this the original one that was sent out when I applied to be a modeler? Or was this something else that I missed?
No, there has been it's called a BRCvr Altspace Events Working Doc, and that has a guide on how to run a world or an event in your world.
Is that on
and
Discord?
No, it's so if you filled out a BRCvr stage times, meaning like you want to have an event, or if you filled out something to be entered into Podio, do you know if you're in Podio?
Probably not.
Okay, so why don't you put your email in the chat, and Athena, can you just record the email so we can send them a link to be entered in Podio?
So I know Gene is in Podio. Gene filled out a form to have his gallery be part of BRCvr, but I'm going to put the link for the form to fill out in order to get the spreadsheet for the event and be included in our what, where, when. So that I was just looking it up. So I'm going to make that happen right now. And everybody, there is the link. So make sure you fill out that form so that you can be included in our what, where, when, and that will trigger you to get a lineup spreadsheet that you can fill out. And if you don't know an event to do, but you're on this call, so obviously you do, something that was recommended to us, and I highly recommend you do it, is a Q&A for the artist and the world builder, so that people can like learn how you built your world and learn about the art piece or learn about your theme camp and how you did it, because it's super fascinating this year.
Yeah, and I heard from Greg that if you don't have a world, but you really, really, really want one, maybe you want a hangout space to take your friends, and you can even make that private. We're going to be announcing templates. So there's going to be a few worlds that are going to be available in the Altspace camps that are going to include anything from a chill space to like a Gigsville, where you can have a few more, like a larger crowd. We even have a sound stage that you can just pull in, make a template of it, and then throw an event. So that's going to be announced a little bit later. That's not on this call. But for this specific call, I'm linking in the chat. This is the guide that we're going to be going over. So for any of you that don't have the guide, I just put it into the chat. It's available to anyone. It's intended for someone to have that has a world, because it explains all of the nuances of scheduling.
Question.
Yeah.
So you mentioned on column A the description of event, right? Is that where?
So we recommend that being very, very short, specific about kind of what's happening at your camp at this time, not like specifically what's happening at the event at your camp. You can add more columns, and there I would put the specific thing that's happening, either a DJ's name, a speaker's name, the meditation person, whoever's leading it. I would put those in column C. Or if you are having multiple events, adding a column D, E, and F.
And would you like to limit that to a certain number of characters or words?
It's fine to just make it like a one sentence. So
call it 100 characters or something.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
10 words, 100 characters.
I'm going to share a link with you guys that is our what, where, when. It's called The Worlds of the BRCvr Universe. And it's going to go live, I think, tomorrow. But it's dynamic, so we're going to keep adding information. And as you update your spreadsheet, it's linked to your entry. So you can continually add to your spreadsheet. But I just put it there so you guys can see what the little descriptions look like.
Yep. And we actually have an announcement on that, where we have a V2 of that coming out. We just figured out how to do it so that at any given time, you can just look at it by time and see all of the camps and who's having an event at a specific time.
And if you need your description updated, you can ping me on Discord. That's the easiest way. Or you can email events@brcvr.org.
All right, so let's move on from the actual scheduling or inputting events into a spreadsheet. Now we actually are going to talk about events. So one disclaimer here, it's in the guide. You don't have to create an event. You can actually just do half programming and do stuff inside of your own world. Now there are benefits to that and there are drawbacks. The benefit is that you don't need to schedule anything. You just have something in your world all the time and your schedule looks like 24/7 programming. The drawback is that it's not linked in the Altspace browser. So if people are looking for events that are happening, they won't see you because they just have to look for your world. The only way for someone to actually access it would be from main Playa. So they would have to go to your camp, go into your world, and then experience whatever's happening in it. If there was an event, then they can access it from various different menus. So that's one. Number two is the events are limited to between 30 to 50 people per world. Worlds are limited to 30 to 50 per world, dependent on how complex your world is and how good of the frame rate. So if you want to have more than 50 people in a world, you have to make an event. So that's not even an option to just do programming in your own world. Yes, Cause.
I just want to interject on that point too. I recently had my world submitted for testing and found out the specs that they use on the Oculus for testing. Most of the time on PC, you're good. If you really want to test your FPS, you go on your Oculus and you go into your display and I think there are settings display and there's a show FPS dialog for Oculus. That will pop it up and show you what it is. They want you to be, and no joke, they want you to be 58 FPS or higher while your render settings are at 2x and 1.4.
And Cause, can you just give a little bit of context around what a good frame rate gets with Oculus and what a bad
one thing
frame
about
rate
that spec?
Oculus? Yeah.
Cause, you meant 2x anti-aliasing, not 8x?
Yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
so it's even easier.
Yes. Yeah. They actually they don't actually expect anyone to run 8x because technically, I don't know why, but it's fine. However, I mean, even Campfire, even their own spaces, when you're running 4x and higher, will start to drop down to 35 FPS. But they right now they have a testing of 1.0 at 1.2 or something, and they're changing it. Whatever.
So,
I can't forget what I just said. The old one is going away. It's 1.4 and 2x anti-aliasing. That's what
so
you want.
hey, Cause, it's Jason here from Altspace Events Operations Team.
Oh, hey,
What's
man.
everybody?
Hey.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. I thought I would just come in and interject.
Well, then you might, yeah.
Sorry, I don't have a live stream going, but I'm pulling out my it's not an AI badge, it's a FPS badge that I pull out when I'm like, hey, we gotta have high frames per second here for this. So I'm I'm like the
Nice.
FPS police. It's pretty bad. So like basically what I was doing before doing a Quest test is what I call it. You hop in your Quest and you open up the settings under display under the settings and fire up the Oculus frames per second counter. So the settings that I had before was 4x and 1.0. That's the ones that's what I have. That was the old default. We think those are a little too low, so we're actually making an update where anybody coming in new is going to be at 2x and 1.4. The render settings, it's like super pixelated, like the word events and all that stuff on the menu. I'm just used to it now, but it's kind of hard to see. So the default now, well, back then anyways, the default was 4x and 1.0. So we're giving you the best example of getting you the highest frame rate that you can. And I saw, Athena, your notes in Gate World where it's like, hey, those settings that are there, it does say 8x and 2. I can't remember what it says, but those are almost like overclocking settings, which they're going to have an awesome experience, but they might plow through their battery real quick. So as far as this testing goes, go ahead and do what Cause was saying. Set that for 2x and 1.4 or 1.2, whatever that was. And like I say, when you hop into your world, and if you're getting 68 to 70 right away, love, hearts. If you hop into your world right away and it's right away at 45 or 44 or 48, that's kind of bad because that's just you with nobody else in there, no other avatars to render, no other audio channels to go. So that's just my little piece for that. And that being said, like we're kind of, and to answer your question, what that does is that it's making the headset work harder, and a lot of time everything was fine, nobody crashed, but it's like even if you're getting like really low frames per second, it's not as a good of experience for everybody. I have been in some spaces with 20 frames a second where I have to rip my headset off, so it's like a various, it's a rainbow from 20 to 80 or 72, right? 72 would be great. And like the Cause was saying, even in the Campfire, we can't achieve these things, but I want what's the best for you. You don't have to like adhere to the standards of Altspace. You could do even better, right? So having 14 particle effects. Let's just have an event with one particle effect and have 14 events type of thing. Just try to have one thing, do one thing. And that's sort of my, rule of thumb. So yeah, that's Cause. Thanks for bringing all that up.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Jason. So that
Yeah.
a little bit more on the performance and more world building. I really appreciate that. That's really helpful knowledge to have. I can put that in the guide. This call, we're trying to really kind of keep it high level just in terms of how to schedule an event. What's the difference? Somebody asked in chat, what's the difference between having an event or just having something happening in your world? Is there different limits in terms of how many people can access it? What are the sort of limitations in terms of participants?
Excellent. Yeah, for sure. So, maybe a couple of weeks ago, I'm not sure if anybody on the call was at that point, but it's like, hey, let's go ahead and build something in Unity. And then basically you shoot out a template and then you make that a world inside AltSpace. Because you're using Unity, it's going to default you to 30 people per space. So any space you make with any worlds you make with Unity, that's maximum 30 for various reasons, including performance, right? So we have, so that's how that works. Now, what's the difference between a world and an event? Well, a world's a persistent thing that's always there. It doesn't open and close. You don't have a start time next Friday at 1 o'clock. So that's what you do. You create an event. You say, hey, Friday at 1 o'clock, I want to have everybody here to organize it. So that's sort of what, we're an events platform, so we like to have these events. It's just the best way to organize it. It's sort of just not as random as saying, hey, show up at my world on Friday. It's not sort of like, that's like just not the best way to organize it. So, and then if you're going to have a super mega event, then we do have the option to front row those events where you're going to be having multiple rooms of 30. We're trying not to do that for too many of the sort of like sub events, but for the main events, we're definitely front rowing those. So those are 30. If there's 300 people in there, there's like kind of 10 rooms that all look the same, but each one has 30 people in it. If somebody's performing, they get mirrored and their actions and their voice and their singing gets carried to all the spaces. So that's what we call mirroring or on air for front row. But as far as your regular events, we're almost at the point where Greg and Doug and Athena we've wrapped up these 4 or 5 templates spaces that we have. So what have you do is come into the website, log into the website, make an event through the website, and we'll have these BRCvr 5 different templates to choose from. So in that case, you're building an event, setting that up for next Friday at 1 o'clock, and choosing these worlds, these templates to choose from. You create that, you come into VR, you hop into AltSpace, you go into your event and you see everything that's there. That's awesome. And if you wanted to, before you submit your event for a feature, you can actually go in there and add some cool stuff in there, add some stuff with the world editor. We're trying to make this as simple as we can and set this all up to sort of set it and forget it. There we go. Of course, I'm getting a call. So we're just at the point we're doing that, and then ultimately, I want to basically let everybody know the end of the road for this is when you feature your event. That's when you have your event all ready to go. You've made it. You've gone in there and tweaked everything that you can have, and then you go ahead and click Feature My Event, and then we'll have that, put that up on our featured events catalog. And at that point, that's basically you're kind of done editing at that point. Once your event's featured, you can't go in and like add more stuff to it. It's kind of locked at that point. We're going to have some higher ups here be able to come in to help you if something's wonky is going on during your event, or if you need something, spawned during an event. But just wanted to let you know, you create an event, do everything that you want, and then go back actually to the website and click Feature My Event, and then that's kind of when you're done, and then that will, will put you up, you'll get in the list.
Thanks, Jason. Yeah, so we're in section 2 now. So what we just went through is all of the options you have when you go to schedule an event. There's a great Medium article written with tons and tons of detail about all the different features and all the different options you have. We also simplified it. If you just want to quick, like, get your friends in a world and have an event, you can watch a 5-minute video on how to do it. What Jason mentioned is that we're going to have templates for you. So you can just be like, what kind of event do I want to have? Do I want to have a little chill hangout space with 5 of my friends? Do I want to invite like 30 people that are part of my camp into a world? Do I want to host something? Or do I want a soundstage and then have a DJ actually perform? And then we can go into the sections on how to add the actual music and videos into those events. So real quick, there's a question in chat by DJ Celeste. Mirroring is like instancing. So two different things. Instancing is what happens when you reach your capacity in one event, and again, if it's an event that's been highlighted, so we ask you to highlight any events you're expecting more than 50 people. And what's going to happen is that event is going to be instanced. They're going to create an exact copy of that event for the next 30 people. So it's going to make little pools of 30 people, and each one's just distribute it and have each world. Cool. And mirroring what Jason mentioned was that if you have a DJ avatar who is projecting the music, which is called DJ bot, if you look into the guide, that DJ bot is going to be mirrored in all of the world. So you don't have to have, if you have 5 different events spawned because you have 150 people, that one avatar is going to be mirrored into all those 5 events at the same time.
Wow. Okay. It's so interesting. Thank you.
Yep.
And the bot. Sorry.
If a group of people that I know are all in the first instance, can I jump to them, or if I'm the 31st person, do I just get bumped into the cloned world?
So there's a little bit of a workaround. If you're friends with somebody, when you're in Altspace, you have your online friends on the tab when you open up the menu on the right-hand side. There's a little arrow that you can click that will take you to where that person is. So that's maybe like an unspoken little workaround that you can, where you can try to organize it. Except, I don't know if we've taken that out, because of course everyone's going to want to be in the first space. Then all of a sudden that first space that should only be 30 is going to have 72 people, and everyone's going to have a sort of a poor experience with being all laggy and stuff like that. So, between you, me, and the lamppost, that's one little way to do it. But on average, it's just sort of random, and it just kind of disperses you evenly, and there's no real way to sort of hold hands as you're going into a world, for example.
Okay, cool, thanks. But you can jump to them.
Yes, to your friends tab on the right-hand side. It says go to, and you click that to go whichever event they are in. Yeah, it'll definitely take you to whatever world they're in, and if it's a front row event, it might take you to that instance of it, but I can't make too many promises. I think we're going to support it. Okay, thanks, Jason. Yeah. Cool. So, all right. So we went through again, highlight events if you're expecting a lot of people, and we're gonna do our best to make sure that event can now host and create instances once it reaches capacity.
Can I ask a question about multiple instances in one world? If we are inhabiting one world with different RPCs that have their own schedule, their own lineup, how does this work together? How do they intersect, or we have to schedule them so they don't play at the same time?
Yeah, so I would schedule the same event, because I know, especially specifically in your world, all the R pieces are in one world. That world would become its own event. So you would have multiple spawns of that one event, and people can go into and explore the different art that is in it.
Is that possible to have multiple spots?
Yes, that's what we're talking about. It's a feature that if you're expecting more than 30 people in any one event, then highlight it in your sheet, and we're going to make sure that event can spawn multiple instances.
Okay.
Ask.
Any other questions?
Kano wants to ask.
I want to ask something. Yes. Hi everyone. It's just that if we are in 2 different, we have art. We are not performing anything or transmitting anything. It's just art pieces. Is there a problem if we are in 2 different universes, 3 different universes?
So I believe you're talking about worlds, and there are multiple art pieces that all exist in one world. That one world will become an event, and that's actually the next section, is how do you link your events to your actual world. So if someone's on the playa and they're like, oh, what's happening at this one camp? They're having art, or they're having a performance. They go into your world. However, they're not in your event. Okay. They're only in your world. So to link your event to your world, you would want to drop a portal in that world that'll link to the event. So what it looks like is, you enter the world, you see the world. There might be a few people, but it's not the actual event. Then right at the spawn, you would look. There would be another portal that says it would have your event name right above the portal, and then you would enter that portal to actually go into the event where there are now performances
The
and
world
people.
creates each event creates its own instance of a world, or its own world.
World creates its own instance that is then the event.
Got it. And
an event is essentially a copy of the world that is temporary. And as Jason mentioned, has a lot of optimization for having people and performances that lives on in its own sort of time
is there
slot.
ways that you mark specific things to go in there, like media player and or DJ bot? And how do you separate that out from your actual space versus the event space? Like, what if you got one event that you need, the DJ, one event that you need?
Exactly. So we're going to get into that. That's the next section, which is the actual setup of the event and doing sound checks. So once you have the event, that means that you have gone on the Altspace browser and you have created an event. You have either used a template of your own world or you only use a template of your own world. You then want to go and give yourself access to enter the event as and anyone else. So in the actual creation of the event, in that 5-minute video, it'll show you how to give other people access to be moderators of the event so they can mute people or they can kick people that are being obnoxious. Or you can give people what's called terraformer. That means that they can add things to the world. They can add a couch, they can add a basketball hoop, they can add a media player, they can add music, right? So you want to give that access to anyone who is helping you set up your event. Once you do that, you then want to go into Altspace and enter this event. And once you enter the event, if you look at the guide on how to link events and worlds, you then want to jump back into your world and plop a portal down that's going to link to the event. Now, people can only access that portal once the event is live. And we're actually, maybe Jason wants to put on earmuffs, we're actually going to add a portal that's going to be revolving and able to go into multiple events that are happening throughout the day. So this is a little bit of a hack that we are coming up with, where if you have like 10 events happening throughout the day, it's a little bit annoying to have to jump into your world and constantly add 10 different portals. So what we're doing is we're having a revolving portal. So you go and once someone enters your world, there's going to be a portal that is just saying, when's the next event? The next event is at 1. Once that event's over, the next event's at 2. Once that's over, the next event is at 5, right? And so it just keeps revolving. So at any given point, someone can enter that portal and go to whatever event is happening in that moment. If there's no event happening in the moment, it's just going to tell them when the next event that's starting. Otherwise, they can just be around your world. They can hang out. Maybe you have some programming in your own world they can enjoy. So all that's possible when you link events with your world.
Do the events also get whatever portals you have put in your regular world? So those portals will also show up.
I was going to speak to that right there. That's a caveat that you may not know about. While you're creating your event, you can select your template on the right, but under advanced options on the bottom left, you can actually copy from a world, and that's where you would do that. Set your world up like you want, and then you do the copy from world, and I think it ignores the template if you do that, and it copies everything from that world, including the template, into the event. So you can set up all your screens and your things. If you just do the template, it will show up as the event with it, nothing in the kit objects.
This is getting a little bit into advanced stuff, so I just want to put a little context to this. What a portal is, it's called an MRE. It's an object, and another object can be a flame, a basketball hoop, snowballs, fireworks. All those are considered these objects, including the revolving portal. It's an object that someone's building just for the purposes of having multiple events. Now, when you make an event, when it creates a copy of your world, none of those objects make it in. So if you added a couch inside of Altspace that was custom to your template, that couch may not make it into your event unless you do what Kaz just said, and you go into advanced settings and you pull in the objects from that world. Now, you can pull in objects from another world which also might be in that drop down. That wouldn't be optimal, because then you might pull in objects that really don't really look good, or they're going to be in random spots because those existed in another world. They weren't necessarily made for yours. Any questions on linking events to your world?
So real quick, just so I make sure I understand this.
Sorry, one person at a time. Who?
All right, I'll jump in. Kiro talking. So if you have an event going on, then when someone goes to your world, they're actually going to get pulled into that event. Is that what I'm hearing?
No. So when you have an event going on and someone enters your world, they're going to be in your world and there may not be anything going on. So the way that you solve for that is you create a portal that goes to the event right inside of your world. So as soon as someone enters your world, there's a portal right in front of them and it says, enter the event.
If you really mean and just put it right over the
Well,
spawn point,
you want
it
to
happens
get,
automatically.
maybe they want to take a break and just be inside of the world. Who knows?
And is that what you mean by a revolving portal?
Sorry?
Is that what you meant by revolving portal? That it would constantly be?
Yes. So currently we have a guide for having one portal, but what we are going to add to the guide once it's live is a revolving portal, and we're going to give instructions on how to create a revolving.
And so by that you just mean a dynamic portal that will take you to whatever live event is happening at the moment.
Yes, correct. Any live event that's happening based on the copy of your world. And actually, I can give a little bit more on that. So in addition to having events, when you have multiple events, there is an advanced option in the Altspace browser that's called channels. You can enable channels, and then you can start to sort events into those channels. So if you created 10 events, you can then drag those 10 events into a channel, and that channel is now going from event to event based on the time that event is starting. So it puts it in order from the first event all the way to the last one. And then the portal, instead of linking to the event, links to the channel. And that's how it revolves.
What happens if someone's in an event in that channel and the event changes? Do they automatically get bumped over?
That is a good question. Jason, what happens when an event finishes? What happens to the person's avatar?
I guess so as far as an event, like you have a 1 hour event, just because it's at the end of or the lights don't get switched off and everybody gets kicked out. Until the last person is in there, then that event will be on. You're not going to be able to get into an event once it's over. It's not going to show up in the UI, and that little arrow when someone's there, that'll kind of go dark if, you know, they won't be able to get in there after the event. But, you know, if the party's going on and strong and there's still a bunch of people in there, that event and everybody in there will keep going until the last person's there.
Thank you.
And I wanted to quickly follow up about the channel thing. I'm not sure. I'm not following you 100% with basically a teleporter or a portal doesn't really usually interface with the channel. So maybe we want to offline that, just make sure we're on the same page there.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. All right. Any other questions about linking your event?
I had a question on where you talk about like bringing objects into events and how to do that. I figured that out, but one of the issues that I had was there's multiple people that we're using to run and stream, and every time I created an event, I would have to add them as like moderators, presenters, and everything to every single event. Is there a way to keep these same people as moderators and presenters throughout all of the events, or do I have to add that individually for everyone?
Like, let's say you wanted to have like super carbon copy events, you know, a Monday event, Tuesday event, but they're all the same. You go ahead and create your Monday event. Make sure this event's not finished or over. Make sure you have this event in the future, and you can go ahead on the website and duplicate that event. It's going to basically put an event into your pending folder where you go in and you activate it and you just change the date and the time, but everything else is going to remain the same, including the world that you chose and your description, list of everybody that you've added. So if you're adding 50 people to an event, go ahead and set up that first one. Like I call this like a foundation event. Make it nice and pretty, and then go ahead and duplicate it, and then you can make your 7 events from that one. If
that will definitely make it easier. Because we have like events almost every hour, basically all day. So I was like, that's a lot of events and a lot of people to add constantly. So that will be immensely helpful.
Yeah, it really helps, especially if you're not sure exactly, like out of this group of 10 who's going to show up, and you don't have to manually worry about everything. Just add everybody to, you know, it's going to take you a long time to make that first event up, but once it's all nice, then you can just do
it. Yeah, because that was a concern too, was like if somebody doesn't show up, we wanted to make sure that there was somebody else that would be available to have access, and just we wouldn't be like locked out. So perfect. That's perfect. Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay, I still don't understand how to link the event to the world because I don't see the option on the picture that you're showing in the list or whatever how to do it. I don't see the connection. Every time, this has been my stick up the whole time, is trying to link the world because it just says presentation or whatever, and it just doesn't give me the options to link it to the world.
Yeah, I would refer to the guide that we're all going through, but in the guide, it essentially.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so in the guide, you would go to the event and then you would hop back into your world. So your event was the last place that you have visited. Then when you create a portal for the name of the world that you want to put the portal to, you go to your recents and it's the first one. It's the event that you just went to. So that portal will take anyone to the event live.
Okay, I kind of see that part.
Can I ask a big request? Because I apologize. My name's Jen. I'm a complete noob, and I'm getting overwhelmed with the detail about the linking, and it's freaking me out, but I know I'll be fine. Do you mind if we go back to the guide and start kind of going through the guide in order a little bit, just because it's a visual thing I can use to learn? I'm so sorry if I'm taking us back. I think there were a couple other things I wanted to cover, like how to make sure test our feeds and stuff. And so is there like a way we could move the linking conversation to a follow-up Zoom just for that or something, so we could
We haven't even gotten to that part yet. We haven't even gotten to the actual adding music or videos to your world. We're just talking about setting up an event.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess I'm just saying, can we go back to the guide, and if there's like one topic like that, can we maybe have a separate call or a thread or something?
Following this call, we're gonna start a Discord channel. This is gonna be like a tech support Discord channel. A few of us have volunteered to be helpers and jump into your world at any given time that someone needs help, just to kind of go through and explain anything that wasn't making sense from the guide. We're all just gonna be on it occasionally, and so ask your questions in it following this call. And we'll happily engage in a conversation to go deeper into anything that you didn't understand. Cool. All right, so let's go back to the guide. We're now in the section number 3, which is you have scheduled your event, you've linked your worlds. It's time before the event to now start setting up. So what do you do before an event? You start dressing up the stage. You start dressing up your world. You start adding in the music, the videos, you do some sound checks, make sure it's working. And so that way that when people come, the party's ready to go or the event is ready to go. So if we go to section number 3, the first part is how to add media. So this is the multimedia player in Altspace. They are tinkering with it right now as we speak. So they're releasing updates to it every single day to just optimize it and make it work for various different streams. So it's gonna work for all streams. There's a little bit of a workaround for Twitch because the URL is just so big that we need to shorten it. So when we go to the media player, we have a video that shows you how to add your media player that Joey made for us. Thank you, Joey. Does anyone have any questions about the media player, how it works, how to add it, anything that they want to ask specifically about the media player?
I did. The media player itself, will that clone 2 worlds? I noticed every time I made an event or a world, when you enter it, nothing plays. And if I leave and re-enter, it's not playing again. So I noticed if somebody stayed in the room, it would continue playing. But I was wondering if we met capacity and then a new instance spawned, is it going to actually play, or do I have to leave?
Yeah. So the way that the media player works is that as soon as the first person enters the world, it starts playing. So that's how it should function. There may be some glitches that are happening right now because they're testing, but rest assured it's going to be fixed in the next few days. The way that it's intended to work is that once someone enters, it starts playing.
That's good. If I have the media player in my world right now, do I have to remove it and put a new one in or to get the, or will that
I
media player
believe
be
that media
updated?
player will
Or
be
do I have to
updated.
replace
You
it?
might need to re-add the URL or whatever to it, but it shouldn't disappear from your world.
Okay, it hasn't disappeared, but it hasn't started playing when anybody enters yet.
And
that was a concern.
so I would just test it by putting in a new. So are you doing a URL, or are you doing some other way to add media to the media player?
I had two. We did streams and then just a URL to a non-copyrighted playable video, and it plays, but I have to hit play. It doesn't automatically play when I enter.
Okay, well, let's take it into the Discord channel to debug what about the media player. I know that they're making so many changes. It's a little hard to really pinpoint whether that's something that they already know about and are working on, or if that's something new. So we'll take it offline for the media player technical issues that might be happening.
It is working
right
for
now.
me, and I had to put it on auto start random. I don't know if that helps. Try a couple of the start modes. I think there's 3 of them.
I set up a Discord channel for help during the week of the event, so that you guys could, so we're gonna have firemen on duty trying to help out when we can, and we're gonna try to communicate mostly through that Discord channel for what we can do. And it's in the chat. You guys get on there, hopefully somebody with knowledge, and then can do that. Sorry, that's all I got.
Perfect.
Can I have another question about media player? Does it have a shape? Or for instance, I'm entering the event inside my world, and I want something to be playing like 360 as an environment. 360 is possible?
So it is possible. It wouldn't be. You would have to add additional features in addition to the media player, but we do have some worlds that are playing 360 video. We have worlds that are playing 180 video. We have 3D videos playing. So all that is possible through the media player.
Sorry, go ahead.
Can I answer that real quick? There's an MRE that has been made. I don't have it with me. That you can put a link on a Dropbox, and then you would stream from Dropbox directly into a 360 bubble. Is it 3D 360 or just regular 360?
Nah, both. I have a 360 video that is specifically prepared for that, and I have some videos that should be arranged somehow, and I'm thinking how it's going to be made in.
Yeah, I think it can also play YouTube 360. But I've been playing with how to optimize that. But there is a way to do it. You just have to get the player from Mira. She has it.
I'd like to find the easiest way to do it to avoid bothering.
Yeah. So just, I would load, I would just put a Dropbox link of all your videos, and then it just plays when you come in, and it's in a bubble.
Any video format or any specific format on the...
I would do compressed MPEG, and I would do 1K, 1.2K frame size is what I found works really nice. I experimented with it for the Quest. If you were on a Windows machine, you could do 3K. For the Quest, I found that the sweet spot is about I kind of made it a little bigger, slightly just bigger than 1K, and I did about. I don't remember the bit rate, but
Okay.
Not a super high bit rate, but not really.
Thank you, Doug. Can I text you in Discord if I have more questions about it?
It may take me a while because for some reason I'm really busy right now. But I think that, but I do want to find this 360 problem. I want to ask Nira where the 360 player is that she has.
Hi guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got back from an event. Sorry. But my question is, so we're going to be using Whalebone to stream. Is that set up to work? How would I do that?
What are you using?
Whalebone.tv app.
Never heard of it.
Is it like?
I heard it the compatible softwares, but okay. So if we're using OBS or Twitch or whatever to stream to our platform, how does that work?
Twitch works, Live TV works, YouTube Live works.
So Sorry if this is a newbie question because I just joined in, but so what's our setup for that?
Yeah, so follow the multimedia player guide, and you would use the URL from Whalebone, similarly to DLive or Twitch or any other online video source. It'll play the video that's from that URL.
Okay, all right.
And
okay.
Doug brought up an interesting new feature that we weren't aware of, which is playing a video directly off of Dropbox. So if you have a file for a video, playing that file directly into the multimedia player. So we will add that to the guide. We don't have the instructions for that yet, but we're going to get the instructions and we're going to put them right into the guide as kind of right below number 3, which is the MP4 and other media files.
Okay, that's good to know because like maybe 30% of our stuff will be live and the rest will be pre-taped. So it's more likely, it's more beneficial to use the Dropbox feature.
Yeah, so let me just say, I just literally got off the phone with Nira, and she said that they got OGG files playing in a folder from the Dropbox streaming in audio. So you just convert to OGG, throw it in a folder, put the URL in, and it'll stream into your world.
And so if we weren't streaming live from Twitch or Whalebone or whatever, and we had videos lined up in Dropbox, they could just be playing on repeat?
Oh, I'd have to test that. But what Paul is saying is that any source, if you have a DJ bot, if you have an avatar that is your DJ bot.
We haven't gotten to that yet. We haven't gotten to DJ bot yet.
Okay, I'm not going to jump ahead. Okay, that's coming soon.
Great. So
I got
we just
one
covered.
quick question.
Yep.
What do you get when you've got like one event where you've got multiple sources and you might want someone to like pause them or introduce them, or like, you know, say like you've got a DJ set and then a second like maybe even a movie, and you want to have someone like say an intro word between the two. Is there any way to control these things once you're in there? And also instances too.
So anyone who has any host status or moderator status has access to control the media player. The way that you do it is you would, I believe if you have like Terraformer, you automatically have the setting. In the link.
They're not hierarchical. Don't think like that. They're
okay. So then in that case, you would have to build in your URL. You would have to there's one field in the URL that adds the permissions for people to control the video file that's playing.
Sorry, that's new. Sorry, the rest of the roles are not hierarchical, but that might.
I just wanted to throw my hand up for a sec here. It's Jason from the AltSpace team. I know that there's, we have our new player, and I just want to be specific. It's the multimedia console, so we call that the MMC. So that, that's not. I just hope that's not being used as a catchphrase for it. We have there's some like Kai has a player, Ben has a player, so there's multiple players here. So I'm not sure if that's all in your multimedia guide and which one to use, like what recipe for. So I'm not sure about if they have permissions other of those apps. I just know that with ours, with the latest update that we have, where you go to the JSON page to create your JSON code to put into the player to tell it what to play and how to have permissions in there, and you can say everybody can control the player, bad idea, or just people that have this presenter or moderator credits that you would give them specifically to the event. So I just wanted to throw my hand up a little bit there and just make sure that permissions and who does what, then the multimedia console might be the way to go. I'm just I haven't read your doc for the multimedia section yet.
Yeah, we are only talking about the multimedia console, and they did just have an update. So we're going to add the ability to give other people permission to change settings in the media that's playing. Currently, it's only set to allow the owner of the world, so the person who's putting in the media player, to control it, but you can actually allow other people. So you would say, allow anyone who's a host, or allow anyone who has Terraformer, and that would allow them to control whether the video is playing. If they want to pause it to make an announcement, that's available as well.
And the other question along those lines, and there's someone else asking about in the questions too, is there an ability to pipe an RTMP stream to one of the players, like specifically for either doing Zoom or doing OBS off of your own computer?
That's a great question. Let's take it on Discord. I don't have the answer to that yet. If there is a URL to that, then the answer is yes. One thing that we've seen is that someone is in their world and they are using OBS to broadcast what their avatar is seeing to their stream, and then they're importing their stream real time back to their world. Right, so somebody can actually see what another avatar is seeing, but on a big screen. So
the world.
Twitch. So that would be done if you put your stream up on Twitch or on YouTube Live. You would then take the link to YouTube Live and you would use the multimedia console and the JSON script that's in the guide.
Got it. So that question about Zoom, if you're going to do that, we would pipe the Zoom into Twitch or pipe the Zoom into another link. And whoever that was on there too, Mystery. If you need any help on that, I can give you some hints on how to do that with Zoom and Restream and that kind of stuff.
Awesome. It'd be great to have that conversation in Discord so we can all contribute and learn all the ways that we've learned to make it work.
Oh, just to go back to Josh's question earlier where he was asking about presenting between DJs, you can give someone a megaphone, which is a role that allows them to speak over everyone. And you can also in front row, you can broadcast someone so that they appear to all instances. So yes.
So that's the next section exactly. So nice segue. There's a feature called DJ Bot. We found in our testing, it's the most consistent way to get really high quality audio to be playing into your world. This is strictly for audio. So if you want to play audio from your computer, or if you want to sing, or if you want to play something from SoundCloud, the DJ Bot is the best way to do it. What you require to do to have a DJ Bot is to run AltSpace on a Windows computer or a 2D or on a Rift. And you would, in the guide, we created a video for you to watch. Doug actually does a little presentation on how to use DJ Bot. Essentially, you just use a small free program in Windows to allow you to sync the audio directly into AltSpace. And then whatever's playing from your computer, it automatically gets piped into your avatar. So then what Kaz was saying, once you have that avatar, you make it look like a DJ or you make it look like you're a meditation guru, you would then assign that avatar presenter status. So that way he gets broadcasted into any of the instances that are spawned for your larger event. And you would allow that avatar to have megaphone. What Megaphone allows you to do is to broadcast the audio from that avatar to the entire world. It would basically be piping over kind of everyone in the world. You can still have conversations and such, but whatever the volume is set for that avatar, that's the volume that's going to be playing across the entire world. It is a little bit based on location, so the closer you are to the avatar, the louder it gets. So you want to place that avatar where you want that sound to go, and you want to adjust the volume on the Windows machine to be where it really works well when you're close, when you're far.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
You have a question?
What role would you assign a user if you wanted them to be able to award megaphone to other participants?
I think moderator can do that.
Moderator is like the host or the kind of MC of the event.
Actually, host would be in an event. I think host is the one that can give megaphone out.
So there's a couple different ways to do this. I call this a field promotion, where if you're in the event and the event's going, if you're a host or presenter, you can actually open up the host tools panel and then give somebody an elevated role during the event. So that's one way. So you'd want to make sure that that person is either a host or presenter. The other thing you could do is before the event, if you know the username that you want to give that to, you add them as presenter before the event, and then it shows they're early, and then they have the option to amplify their.
And to read more about this, I would go back to section number 2, and I would go to the Medium article. It goes really deep into all the different roles and what they do.
Nice.
To confirm, you said the megaphone also has a fall off in the audio as you get further away?
I was going to follow up on that because I've done this method quite a bit myself. One, I have found that I've needed to put YouTube when I'm streaming from it like 25% and below. Don't blast it at full volume. Also, the radius on these things with the megaphone is huge, and I end up flying this thing like meters and meters away from the party, and you can still hear it just fine. One caveat with looping your audio back from your computer is that if you have people near your bot having a conversation and that bot can hear their conversation, it broadcasts out over the music to everyone. So that's another reason to pull it far away from everything.
So I got a little bit of feedback. There's two different ways that I used to set it up. I'm not sure if the audio's changed or not, but if so you have a DJ bot. Let's say you want to have a dance party. So you put the DJ bot in the middle of the dance floor and you crank the music. You do not put them on Amplify My Voice or Megaphone. You just put them in the middle of the dance floor. We have this issue where if you're behind something, it's a little bit quieter. So maybe you can just angle it where nothing can kind of get behind it, put it up against the stage. But then that's where people want to dance. They can dance in this little loud area. If they want to have a private conversation, they can go away where the fall off happens and have their talk there. So that's one technique. I got some feedback where maybe that's not ideal anymore, and maybe you could fly it up. The other thing would be chill lo-fi hip hop playing. Put it on low volume so everyone just kind of has it chilled in the background. So those would be sort of two different styles of the DJ bot depending on how you wanted to get the party started.
Jason, I do have one question for you. I don't think a lot of people know about something that I encountered early on when I was talking to Q, actually. I have a flag set on my account that actually somehow gives me higher quality audio on my bot account. Like I specifically requested that. I don't know what it was. Yeah. I think I have seen my roles. I think it's called power user. Yeah.
So these, if y'all are going to have a little army of speaker bots, then go ahead and let us know what the usernames are for those. And that's something that I can go in and actually give them a different, instead of VoIP audio, it's actually just called audio. So it's giving a higher data stream. We don't want everybody having this because we have compression for voice and stuff like that. But definitely for your army, let me know who those are. And if anybody is just specifically wanting to do a speaker bot and you're only using that account just for your speaker bot, go ahead and let me know the username. I'll go in and set that flag for you. And you're going to just get higher quality sound out of it. It's worth the while.
That's what I did, and that's why the audio in my club sounds so good. People have asked why it has such high range. It's because
can I clarify something, please?
Yes, Celeste.
Hi, thanks. Okay, so if I'm using the DJ kind of hack, and I have two accounts, one of them is just going to be me as an avatar hovering over the fake turntables and then working behind the scenes at home on my real turntables, and then the bot is also from another account. I'm assuming it's is one from Steam and the other one is from Oculus? Or...
Basically, yes.
Yes, okay, all right, great. And then a friend told me also with the same method that the bot, you put it far away from anyone or anything, you hide it, and then you face it away from the sound. You turn its back.
I told you that, and let me tell you about that. If you are using your computer to stream audio, turning your bot away from the action and having it face off into the void of space leaves your FPS higher and keeps you from lagging out a little bit. It's just a trick to keep you running smoother, that's all.
Love it.
Nifty. Okay, yeah, that's mainly what and then that also gives me freedom to communicate and chat with other people, or is that sound?
Yeah, no, you're totally free on your Oculus to move around and talk to people, and if your bot's way off and not picking up your computer audio, not picking up conversations.
Okay, sorry, one more question before I forget also. So the sound, because I'm a music person, I studied sound engineering, so I'm a Mac person, so switching to a PC has been very challenging. So what is the program that allows you to route the music on a PC that I can download and make sure that I
in our guide, we offer another solution. So I believe it's called where's the DJ bot?
Voicemeeter. It's by the same company. It's all on the same website.
Yeah, here you go. This is.
I used to use SoundCloud, where I show you.
What I just sent you is literally you install this. It just adds a sound driver. You go into your sound settings like you would select any other device, and you just select VB cable in and VB cable out, and you're done. It's that simple.
We have a video of this in the guide as well, so you can watch us use this and set it up.
Oh, great. You guys are so on it. I'm so impressed.
DJ, I would say that some will have a DJ bot as a speaker if they're really excited. So you don't even need to, you could just give them your link, your Twitch link, and they could probably just load it into their speaker and let it roll. And I'm recommending for sound camps that are going to be having an all-day event, like we need the 6 biggest Twitch people. Like they could just probably just load that Twitch stream in and forget about it with their club DJ bot. So there's 2 ways to do it. One, you could carry your own speaker system around, or hopefully the club has a speaker system that you could just go on your Quest or whatever. And I think Cause and I have been trying to hack it. The secret sauce is right. It's foolproof, by the way. If you do a DJ bot, you're just going to have music in your club. You know,
DJ bot.
Yeah. So just to reiterate, DJ bot has been the most successful way and the most stable way with the highest sound quality that we found in our testing to have music or any kind of audio playing in your world.
Yeah, there's nothing you can't play in your world because it's just playing off a computer. And I will say this, and I know Jason isn't going to want me to, I'm not going to say anything too soon, but it's possible that there will be a Mac client available soon that will let you do this on a Mac. I had to boot camp my Windows to do this, which was exciting because I'm a Mac guy all the way down. So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Go Mac guy.
We have a question from Matt, and I've actually experienced as well. So if you are running the program and it's porting the sound into through your DJ bot into the world, can you still hear the music? Is there a setting you can choose to still hear the music from your computer?
Sorry, I'm not sure who's answering that, but I mean, if you're trying to run a one-person shop for this, ideally you're having 2 computers for this, where one would be like your regular account, and then one would be your laptop that's just sitting off of the avatar in the corner doing the speaker bot stuff. It would be really hard to do all this on the same computer because basically the audio you have on your computer is piping into your microphone, so it would be you would be listening to this audio really loud twice probably. So I don't know if that helps.
Also, too, to add, I think the virtual audio cable has a donate and get additional channel of a built-in little mixer thing. So I think there is a way that you could like route it and then mix it out to 2 sources, including both the input and your speakers.
Good point.
Okay. Hey, I wanted to see if I could ask a question about, I have an IceCast server that I'm running, and I want to see if anybody knows about being able to stream that. I think it's an HTTP
link. Does
link.
IceCast give an M3U8 file?
Yeah, I could get a playlist.
Yes, if you can get an M3U8 out of it, you can throw that into the multimedia console.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what?
Obviously,
I'm going to say I haven't actually gotten, now that I think about it, I haven't been able to get the place. All I've been able to do is get the HTTP link working. I think I did try to make a playlist out of it, but I think my
HTTP link and an M3U8 aren't necessarily different. They can't be the same.
Yeah. It's just trying to like package, I guess. But you're saying that if I could do that, that would be the way to go.
That's for the multimedia console. For the audio bot, any audio will work just fine.
So if I had an HTTP link, I could maybe use that, and it would sort of.
Yeah, anything you can play on your computer.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So just to reiterate, the audio bot, it plays any music that you're playing on your computer from any source. If it can play from your computer, it can play into your world. Cool. All right, so that's the section about adding music or adding media, including video, to your world. Again, we're going to have updates coming on a few different things, such as having 360 or 180 videos playing, adding adding music that plays from Dropbox. We're going to add that into the dock. And as any more updates come from the multimedia console, we're going to be adding those as well into this dock. So stay tuned for those updates.
Where do you read them?
They're in the BRCvr AltSpace Events working doc.
Okay, where is this doc?
This doc, I sent it in the chat in this link. You also got an email for
Also,
it.
we will keep a link to it in the FAQ channel in the Discord. So any of these links, if you're ever missing them, and if anyone's missing this, in the Discord, we added a channel that's FAQ, which is frequently asked questions. And there's lots of tips in there. And we'll also keep the doc in there too. Just no conversation.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then
Wonderful about that.
Is Google Doc supported or just Dropbox?
I don't know. I don't think we tested it on Google Drive, and I would think it would work. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work.
I've had one person try it, and it didn't work. Basically, what you really want that last thing to say dot, MP4, MP3, or JPEG.
Oh.
So with Google, it'll be just, it's not going to end like that. So it's not going to end well.
Right. The Dropbox link ends with the name of the file, and that might be that we need, whereas the Google Drive link is kind of obscured. Could be the problem here. Paul, why don't there's another Zoom call, right?
There is. There's going to be another Zoom call for any follow-up questions and any updates we have. That Zoom call is going to be tomorrow at 1 p.m. We do have one more section to go through, so I'm just going to quickly run through the section number 4, which is how to promote your stream, and also how to broadcast your stream to social media or to any source. You can also visit our Facebook page to see what we've done. We did a few interviews. We've done some Facebook Lives from our parties. The way that you would do that is you would use OBS software. So OBS, it's free. It's pretty simple to use. We made a video tutorial on how to set up it to broadcast what your avatar sees to your Facebook Live. This also works for your DJ bot. So if you want your DJ bot to simultaneously be broadcasting what they're seeing directly to Facebook or to Twitch or to YouTube, that's all possible through OBS software. So highly recommend it.
Can DJ bot broadcast audio from AltSpace back into Zoom?
The DJ bot would not. So the DJ bot is broadcasting what's from the computer into AltSpace, so it wouldn't be broadcasting what's happening. It would just be broadcasting out and into the world.
Can you go over that a little bit more about the whole getting things back out during the performance while it's going?
Sure. So let's talk about the actually broadcasting out. So you would launch OBS. You would set the video that it's capturing to your AltSpace. So whenever you launch AltSpace, your stream, whether it's going to Facebook or to YouTube or to Twitch or to Restream, which will broadcast it simultaneously everywhere. Restream.io, highly recommended, great program. So once you have your live, you're broadcasting your party to, let's say, YouTube Live. Now YouTube Live, your channel is playing what's happening in your world. You would take that link to YouTube Live and you would put it into the multimedia player inside of your AltSpace. So now in your world, you have the multimedia player playing, and it's playing from the link that is your YouTube Live.
Cool.
Is that good, or should we go one more round?
And there's a video of it in the document.
There is a
Yeah,
video.
I think the issue. I think the issue is that, unless you're sort of used to this software, a lot of this is, maybe informational, but it's going to be tough to just sort of grok it all right here in a Zoom call, and we're probably going to have to try it out.
Well, this is what.
But I think what I would hope, I don't know what you guys are thinking. It'd be nice if there was maybe a Zoom call just for people who are trying to get stuff set up. And then if anybody wants to sort of join in and, advise, I don't know if there's any kind of space for that right now, or if we're, something else we can set up. But
yeah, I also want to say that, so that's what I was going to say. If you guys play with this, we're doing another Zoom call tomorrow at 1, and the reason we're doing it at 1 is so you guys can go play for a while, but also for European people to chime in here as well. So we're up during their time. But we can do more Zoom calls if it feels like the need is there. And in addition to that, I would say that we're going to try to create an avatar, a service avatar that hopefully everybody can add as terraformer in your world. So that way we're hopeful, our imagination is that if there's a problem in your world, we could come in with our service bot who has terraformer and help you set something up to the extent that we think this is a good idea. We hope it works, but that's sort of idea. So that, because if you say, come to my camp, help me get my sound going, then you have to add us as a terraformer, or some kind of permissions to do something in your world. So we're thinking if everyone added this one centralized service bot, then we could dispatch to your camp and help out. That's an idea we're throwing around. I don't know if you guys think that's good or not.
I want you to come by and like set up my mixer and turn the right knobs. Just kidding.
I have extra RCA cables. My XLR is kind of weird. I'm in it. My speaker's filled with dust and the
Yeah, that
no bass anymore.
I can't hear the front line. Come on, man.
Yeah, exactly. You hear that static? I don't know where that's coming from.
So as a reminder, we are going to have, we do have a Discord channel specifically for this. So if you have any questions following up, we recommend that you go into your world, you get access to, as Terraformer, to start setting up events, set up test events, set up the different MREs, the different objects, put some flames in, put some interactive objects, try to put sound in, see if any of your friends have an old laptop laying around today that they just aren't using, and load an Altspace 2D on it. Try AudioBot, play around with all these things, make sure you get ready to go. This is build week, so it's all about just testing and playing and seeing what works and what doesn't. You bring a bike to Burning Man, you realize that you're missing a chain for it. You're like, all right, not this one, but like maybe someone else has a solution, and you can just pull up another chain, and now you have a bike. So
I was going to say real quick, just for playing for events, you can go and create a quick event. You don't have to schedule anything. Just create a quick event and keep it unlisted and private, and then you can just add a few friends' usernames on there, and you guys can kind of play together. Make small groups and sort of accountability buddies here, and let's learn this in little badges.
Exactly. You can add your campmates. You can give them all Terraformer, and then you can just start adding objects into your world and see what's easy, what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, I do want to. This is, and Jason can tell you from Altspace that we're pushing Altspace in ways that maybe people haven't always done before in the past, and so we're kind of coming in with our hacker mentality and getting 360 to, just trying stuff. And there's a little DIY and even Altspace getting in on the act, and they're trying to get their multimedia console. But I will say this is a little side topic. Sorry, Paul. We're making templates. There are 4 or 5 templates. There are worlds that you can use to create an event. Like, let's say you didn't build a world. Let's say you don't know how to do Unity. Well, we created a chill space, behind the camp space, a DJ space. So anybody can come along and either take the template and make their own world on it and decorate it, or if you don't even want to deal with that, there's this another level where you can just pick a pre-made world and just do an event and go. So that's a whole nother element. So you don't even need to have a world up on Altspace. We've given some templates, so that's coming soon too.
Great, thank you, Doug. And we're gonna be adding to this guide. We're gonna add a video that explains how to use the templates and how to start an event just in 5 minutes. Add your friends to it, and then you're up and running.
What's the Discord channel, or how do I access your Discord space or whatever?
I'll re-put it in the chat. I had done it a second ago. Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
It might be way up the chat.
Yeah, it's in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I missed it, but all right, I'll look.
Were you going to talk on how to promote the event? How to promote? Were you going to give us a few nuggets on that before this thing ends? Because I know everyone keeps talking tech, but I'd like to hear couple minutes on that.
Of course, yeah. So in the guide, we have an entire packet for you to promote your events. This is anything from images, videos, verbiage, things to add to really get it out there. If there's anything interesting, please, tag us in it, and we will happily read it. We're also going to be posting a who, what, where, when on our site, and we're going to be promoting what's happening at different times. Again, to make it on that list, you have to fill out your schedules, the sheet that your camp was given, in column A. That column is going to be then transferred into the who, what, where, when. So if you open up that media packet, you can see there's 2 folders, one for images, one for videos. The thing that we've seen. Yep.
Is that going to be updated? Is that going to be updated daily? Is it going to be updated automatically when our stuff goes in, or is there a deadline to get into it?
It's updated automatically, and we're going to be 2 times. We're going to take a screenshot of it, and we're going to put it into the world so that anyone can just walk up to the board and see it. That's not going to be updated automatically, but we're going to try to update it, a few times, maybe once during the course of the week.
So cool. we already submitted ours, but the way the description was column A, and then like column C, you would put the performer in there. So are they only seeing what was in the first one when they're going to see the events?
Okay, so here's how it's going to look. People are going to look at what's happening at 1 a.m. on a Saturday, right? They're going to have a list of all the things, and they're going to have your camp name in that list. Your camp name is going to be a link, and when they hit that link, your entire sheet opens up, and they're going to see all the columns, the DJ names, the stage names, all the performers, and all the information. But in the general, it's just going to have column A. That's why column A is the most important one.
So what I'm saying with that is, should we go back in and edit, like if we have a certain speaker that was speaking, I didn't put them in, but they maybe needed, their name should be in on column A.
It really depends. What we've seen is that column A is really good for sort of the general, like what's happening at your camp at this time. Not really specific about this one particular person, but we're having 3 DJs, four stages, or we're having a meditation, and then they can, I want to read more, and then they click on your camp name, and then they can see the whole, all the different columns. You can add as many columns as you want for people to see what's happening at your camp.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. Like they made it sound like you really couldn't, it was locked in. We had to submit it by like the 24th, and it was like, that was the date. So.
No, we found a way. We found online, there was a script that was able to update automatically based on whatever people input into a specific row in a sheet.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Do you know when the first, you're going to update it twice. Do you know when probably when Burning Man starts over the next couple of days, right before is when
when it goes live, we're going to pull it and we're going to paste it into the world, and then the website's going to be updated automatically. So anyone who visits our site, the who, what, where section, that's going to be always updated to the latest and greatest. But inside of the world, because we have, you have to add media to the world to actually update it. That's going to happen, maybe once or twice throughout the course of the week.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Thank you.
So yeah, we really encourage you, make posts, let your friends know. Again, a Mac client is coming out potentially, hopefully. We're hearing all kinds of news about it. So really, it's an opportunity for anyone to participate. And especially if you're going to be broadcasting, if you're going to be having a Facebook Live at your event, you really want people to tune in and experience it, because it's, until people get in, until you really put it on and you're in it and you see other people and you're hanging out, you can't really explain it, right? You can't really see it until you experience it. So we really encourage you, use the packet, share on social media, tag us. We'd love to see more people coming to your event. And if you are planning to have a big event, let us know, highlight it, and we're gonna do our best to really expand it so it stretches beyond the limits of Vault Space.
Hey, Paul, I've got a question. Some of the traditional media like Forbes and TechCrunch are covering the whole event. Who's trying to get the word out to other traditional media, or is it all being done through social media?
I believe if you email us at info@brcvr.org, we can connect you to someone who's kind of working on kind of outreach and getting the word out. Right now, just for the week of the burn, we're really focused on the camps. We're not really focused on promoting ourselves. We want to get you guys out there. We want to get your communities to come in and to experience what's happening in your worlds.
Yeah, I understand. That's the purpose of us working together. Good.
Hey, Paul, I had a good question for Jason, actually, while he's on the line. I'm a Mac user, and there's in the chat, there's a couple of other people that are too, and I kind of wanted to get an insight on maybe Jason's response on what is the best workaround for Mac users, and if there's a timeline when the development SDK is going to be available on the site for download, because right now it's saying like you need a password to access it or something.
Hey, thanks, Anil. Sorry, I don't know how to use the Zoom chat very well. I'm like privately, I'm like, what is this? Like, sorry, I'll get back to this. Anybody that sent me something private, Athena, sorry, I'll get back to you after, hopefully, unless it goes away after we click the thing. So Mac, we're sort of, let's see, how would I describe it? It's like the door's ajar, but I can see something's going behind there, and I keep looking, and the dev's like, just give me a minute, right? And then the fact that I just poked my head in there is stalling them from, so it's like we're really close to having basically Mac client. Okay, so as of yesterday, we had the package for you to update your worlds from Unity. So I'm not sure if that's the aspect that you want, and I know that you want to shoot out a Mac asset bundle and then use your Mac to test it. So we're still waiting for that aspect of it. So eventually, when Mac does or will or would or could come out, you'll be going to the website and you'll be downloading it right from our website. So we'll make sure that you have all the right links and let you know once that's live. And I'm not sure exactly what you are. Maybe you just need the password to get the thing, and then we're just gonna probably take that password out. I don't know what URL you have, you sneaky hackers, but it's it'll be up there when it's ready.
Okay, for now, Parallels works great on a Mac.
Okay.
It costs about $50, I think, and the Windows license, I don't know, but
yeah. I will say that if you guys have made a world in Unity and you've exported it as an Android or Windows, we can get you the capability to also make a Mac bundle and upload it to the world. So when people get their Mac, either can go into your world. So we want to encourage everybody to, make a Mac bundle.
Can you put that documentation or availability somewhere? Because that's very intriguing.
Yes, I actually do want to comment on this. So this is more in the world building realm, so not really about the events, but the way that the worlds work is that every world has to be exported for Quest users, for Windows PC users, which is called Android in their own terminology, and coming soon and live for some people is Mac. So once the Mac comes out, it doesn't just mean that people with Macs can now access your camp. You now have to export your, it's very easy. You don't have to rebuild anything. You just click another checkbox and now your world works for Mac. We've actually seen this happen. So somebody makes a change to the world and then they export it, but they only export it for Quest users. So Quest users see an updated world while people on PCs or on Rifts or on the high-end VR headsets, they're actually seeing the older world because the person who exported it didn't export it for all the different platforms.
One of the reasons that we're on Altspace, one of the reasons that Altspace is great is because of the breadth, the size, the amount of platforms they support. Windows, Android is Quest, and hopefully PC. So you're going to have to make 3 different bundles. You just click the boxes and it goes into one zip file and you upload it. It's pretty easy. And if you are going to upload from Mac with the Unity exporter, you don't have to re-upload for Windows and Android. You can leave those there.
Right.
You can just add your Mac in there. So we can get into this on the Discord channel as well.
Great, thank you.
Have to get into
one important note on working on the Mac. I tried running Altspace on Parallels, and it is slow, and I've got a super powerful Mac. So anyone on a Mac, like, I'm going to take the time to try and get Boot Camp installed. Anyone who's on a Mac, there's basically 2 different ways to run Windows. One of them is a virtual machine on your Mac. That means you're kind of like running Windows as a program on your Mac. And it's pretty good. The other way is a thing called Boot Camp. Apple made Boot Camp so that you can actually just install Windows on your Mac, and you basically load it up in Windows instead of loading it up in your Mac. Instead of like loading it up your Mac operating system and loading Windows inside of that. So I don't know anyone else who's tested it, but when I ran Parallels, which is having a program on your Mac operating system that runs Windows versus Boot Camp, it was very slow. So I'm going to take the time to install Boot Camp, and you guys might want to test it and not just think that like, oh, okay, I'll get Parallels and Windows running, and it'll be fine.
This is Gene. I just want to chime in. I'm using a MacBook Pro, about 6 months old, and I have no problem with Parallels. The only problem is sometimes Space app doesn't load because I have other things running like Unity. But if it loads, it works 60 frames or whatever a second constantly. So your experience is different than mine.
Which MacBook Pro are you on? Because I'm on one that's it's a year old, not 6 months. 6 months is pretty new.
Yeah, this is 15-inch. It has a GPU, pretty decent GPU, but the GPU is not accessible from Parallels. So
well, let's take it up on Discord. I think this is a great conversation to have, and hopefully Mac comes out very soon, and we don't even have to worry about it. But in the meantime, yeah, Parallels or Boot Camp work if you want to run your DJ bot off of your MacBook. Probably better than running the whole program and trying to really experience it. So I think we're nearing the end. We've gone through all the sections. We, again, really recommend promoting, putting it on social media, tagging us, and helping us really put your events out there. And also, just a note, I don't know if Greg is on, but I really want to do a shout out to Greg, really having the vision for this 6 years ago before we really even knew that this was necessary, right? This is even this was a nice to have. This was something to really remember what the burn's like and really experience it when it's not happening, and imagine the world could be like. I heard from BMorg once, they said 3 million people every year want to go to Burning Man, but unfortunately there's just not that capacity, right? Only 70,000 tickets are I think almost 80,000 were sold the last year. But really, it's really about the ability to get people here and to experience it. And so I really want to give a shout out to Greg for making this happen, for working, investing his own time, his own money, and for all the volunteers at BRCvr who are working day and night, nights and weekends, having side jobs, and really just doing this out of their own passion because they believe in this. They believe that this needs to exist. And camps, this is forever, right? You build your camp in Unity, you put it out there. That Unity file exists forever, right? Whether it's on Altspace or whether it's on another platform, whether you're hosting it just for yourself, right, and for your friends, right? It exists forever for you to experience. So I also want to congratulate all of you for all the work that you've put in to making your camps look amazing. I've seen stuff in VR that I've never seen in my life, and I've been, I have friends that run VR companies, and they just are like, wow, like the creativity that this community has to reimagine what it's like to be at the burn, reimagine what it's like to have a camp, and to make an experience that you invite others to have with you. It's really beautiful, and it's really inspiring. So thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I'll see you.
I want to thank Joey and Paul for taking on the events. We have been, Athena and I and Greg have been beyond busy making worlds, doing calls, Zoom, Slack, all day, all night. The three of us have been in battle, and this event wouldn't be as it was if it wasn't for these two guys taking it on, and I'm really happy about that. So.
Bravo.
And lastly, if you are inspired and you really feel like giving back, we would love anyone in the community to really have a donation to BRCvr. It's something that, none of us are getting paid for this. We have not, no one's bankrolling. It's all coming out of our own pockets, and we're happily giving. And we would love for the community to really, help us in realizing our vision. So thank you all.
So much win.
All right, everyone. I'll see you on Discord.
See you guys tomorrow.
Tomorrow at 1.
Thanks again.
Great,
Thank
great
you.
meeting, Paul.
Thank you, guys.
Fantastic.
And thanks, Jason, for being here.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. That's great. It's great to, be a part of such a well organized situation. Like it's really, really commendable. So, so many cogs turning and dishes spinning on really tall spinny things. So, doing really great. It's having lots of fun.
Thank you, Jason. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And thank you, everyone. Don't forget
Anytime,
to
sounds
save the chat. Click the 3 dots down where you type in save chat, and all those links you'll have saved on your computer.
Save chat.
Handy. Look at
Yeah,
that.
lots of really good info.
Show in
is
folder.
going on there.
Wow. This is
That chat has a lot of good info in it, so save your chat.
Oh, Jason, real quick, you can just click on someone's name in chat, and it'll queue up your typing area to be a private message to them.
Okay, yeah. I got a little camera shy there, and I'm like, oh. Hopefully I answered most of those things. So, and Athena, again, it's kind of sort of, I don't know everything. So I'm like, hey, that doesn't fit into my pigeonhole.
Right.
She's like, we got it. Don't worry.
Everything was very
Lots
helpful.
of that. So good.
The people are like, should we email you, Jason? I'm like, no. Here, hold on a second. Okay, I just created a spreadsheet. Everyone put your D-Day bots in there. And then I was like, Jason, is this the information you needed? And he's like, I don't know how to respond.
Yeah, you're doing all this stuff on the fly. And then you're like telling me about the stuff about the platform I didn't even know. And Alan's like a genius, and he has this all set up for the channel. So I'm like, all right, that's all good. All right, that saves me an offliner. Awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
We're used to giant chaotic things coming together in a serendipitous fashion. That's what we do.
If you guys need more Mac devs, who should I speak to reach out to?
I think that was for Jason.
Oh, sorry.
It's Jason.
Oh, yeah. Hi. I don't know. I don't know. If you basically, if you're looking for, careers.microsoft.com.
No, just to help out. I'm trying to help out.
Oh, that's very wonderful. That's very wonderful. Just stay close with Doug and Greg and Athena, and because they're going to be getting those bits whenever they happen. So just hang tight with them.
Nice.
Athena, I have a question for you. Maybe you can help me. Do you know who's managing the world for the Mayan Warrior? There is a world for Mayan Warrior.
Pedro is in charge of that. I mean, Pablo. I'm so sorry.
Right,
Pablo is
I'm
in
gonna
charge
hop off.
of that.
Have fun, everybody.
Take care, Jason.
Pablo itself,
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
I'm actually just in there. Is it 2 days ago?
Yeah, we had a meeting.
And it hasn't been updated yet.
I think they have.
Okay, thank you very much. I was just wondering.
Yeah,
about we that. should
take a couple of minutes to talk to Paul because he mentioned some updates that Greg made.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you all, guys. See you in the
See you later.
multiverse stuff.
It probably just hasn't been uploaded yet, and that's what they're doing right now. So,
Is Athena? Is there a place where all these docs are stored? Or
in the FAQ on the Discord.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Cause your beard is so much more epic than I realized.
It's actually, I'm mad because the little avatar one is just like this, it's like all the sides are like missing for some reason. It's very, it's getting there. I got the rest of it, it's all, I look like my avatar. I just made myself look like
Nice. By the way, if everyone doesn't know Matt Pinner, he's working on the Disorient camp.
Nice.
And he's a cool nerdy guy who I love.
Nice.
So I'm just gonna keep this Zoom open if you guys want to continue to talk.
Well, I'm rendering stuff on the other monitor. I got nothing to do right now, so this is great.
Oh, would you guys like to know how the gate process is going to go? Because we just figured that out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So
speaking of, Athena, like,
huh?
You go. You first.
Starting
There's something about
tonight, in an hour or so, BRCvr that you've known since April or whenever you came in, is changing, and it will become an empty playa with a golden spike and a portal that will take you to gate, because so many people favorited that world. We didn't want to take away that link. So it's just changing and it's becoming empty playa with a golden spike. Then you go to gate, and for Friday, Saturday, and half a Sunday, you'll be in Gate World. And Gate World is amazing. Doug Jacobson did a phenomenal job putting it together with Scotland from the Gate Department. And the big Burning Man sign that Mad Dog was gonna make is there. These amazing 10 principle posters done by Buck Down. There's tips and tricks all over the place. There's these blue signs that give you tips about VR functionality and how to have the best time with the technology. The Burma shave signs with all the quotes going down the road, those are there. You can go explore those. You can get in and out of cars. And then on Sunday at noon, the portal in front of the sign that was created is going to appear. The world is probably going to re-render. And you walk through it, and that's how you enter BRCvr. The gate will be open for the entire length of the event. Once you've gotten into BRCvr 2020, you can favorite it. It will also show up on your event hubs. So Gate and BRCvr are hubs, and they are being featured by AltSpace. So for people just entering for the very first time next week and they don't have any information whatsoever about what they're getting into, they're going to log into AltSpace, go through that process, and the screen that comes up is the Discover screen. And on it, it will say the campfire where you can go and get help and learn, the tutorial, and then Gate. And so that will be one of the hubs that people can go into, and they'll get directed right into it. So it'll be super easy to see right on the main screen. On Tuesday, cool. BRCvr joins it. So now you don't have to go through Gate. Now you can just go straight to the playa and skip Gate. But we're telling everyone, go to Gate. Go to Gate. It's going to be so much fun in there. We have, BMIR has sent us a beautiful feed. And you're going to get to listen to BMIR and Gate World while you're waiting in your car to get in.
Like an 8-hour wait, or how long is the wait?
No, it's like if you were to go in, I think it's happening in an hour. If you were to go in right now, you could probably stay in your avatar the whole time and then plug in and just plug into the matrix. And just stay in Gate that whole time and go through a 3-day, we're stuck on playa because it was pouring rain and not a single car moved for 2 days. That happened in 2014. So it's entirely possible. But no, so that's the process that's happening. And so there's a very good chance the 2014 playa is already gone. I was about to say, if you want to go see the original playa one more time, then you might want to go. But I think it's already gone. Hold on. Doug's calling me. I think I have to go. Do you guys want to talk amongst yourselves? I'll take your call.
Let me back in.
Hey, Doug. I'm still on this Zoom call. Yeah. Some people had questions, and I was giving everyone the Gate process so they would understand how everything goes in. Yeah.
God, I've been so freaked out. I was like, hey, so I went, I didn't.
Hey, you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back.
Hey, Cos.
Hey, man. What's up?
Yeah, I met you last
Yeah,
night.
yeah, I remember. Hey, actually, good news. I guess I heard they got Twitch working with the multimedia. So if you guys can stream visuals in through Twitch with no audio, we can pair it with the DJ bot and ta-da, DJ set.
Yeah, you know,
Nice. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, but it would be up to the whoever's streaming to cut their audio because the multimedia console is going to pull it in.
So is Twitch better than YouTube?
Oh no, excuse me. You're right. We talked about it. YouTube Live is fine. It's actually better. It's more stable.
We'll talk about a 20-second lag.
But that's
cool. What?
Yeah.
Is it really 20-second lag?
Yeah, from the YouTube Live to.
That's why you gotta cut the audio.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not going to be a synced video experience. I mean, it'll be close.
Well,
it'll be close, obviously. I mean,
but 20,
the mood will go with it.
Yeah, but 20 seconds. I know it's like if I'm
Is it
mixing, if VJ mix and I'm trying to like hit the beat.
No,
that's not
definitely.
gonna happen,
Is it really 20 seconds?
Okay, well, we'll find out. Maybe if everything's at 120 BPM, it'll just work anyway.
I don't know. Listen, I've had somebody who was on their Quest and on their PC with both avatars standing right next to each other talking to me once, and they were having a lag between them. Like I would hear one and then hear the other a couple seconds later, and then it switched. So who knows?
Yeah. Yep. Well, it's Burning Man,
yeah.
so anything could
And
happen.
it will.
That's cool. All right.
Nice.
And it's good to see you too, Curious Josh. I sort of met you a long time ago, but glad you're
Oh,
around.
you look familiar. I was like, I think I've seen you before.
Yeah. We survived. We're all still here.
It's 2020. We'll see.
But we're all gonna be born again up on the virtual planet. It's like all new people, all new new avatars. So it's kind of cool.
I think we should allow spanking on the virtual playa for people to enter because you can use
yeah.
your Oculus hands.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I totally forgot about that. We were supposed to make a butt jiggle spanking RPG or MRE. So
you got to tell people about your idea about the portal.
No, it's not my idea. I'm just a proponent. I'm
Oh, okay.
I'm a
Well,
cheerleader for it. But yeah, it's a good idea.
That's so brilliant to have
So-
all the portals in.
It was it's my partner Christy that came up with it. So it was
well,
her
that's
thing, but yeah, portal potties. I mean, you guys have seen the posts. Put the portals inside the porta-johns. Someone even made some models for everybody to use of just like open porta-johns with nothing in them and the door gone.
Yeah, love that.
And I honestly, me and Justin were talking too. Like, we think all of the camps should put so here's the idea: is when we get. I really should have said this when there were more people here. When we get everybody placed on Playa, what you do is you figure out who your neighbors are, and then inside your real world, you'll put up 2 portals on the edges of your worlds to your neighboring camps, so that people can walk the back streets, basically, and not have to keep going back to the main world, respawning, find their way all the way back to where they were to go to the next camp.
That's brilliant.
Ta-da! Yeah, and so that's also why Doug wants to do the master account so that someone else can handle that for you, and you don't have to worry about it. Just add them as terraformer, and we're gonna come in like a placement ranger or something, and just basically put the portals in. Portal lords.
Has anyone seen Camp Question Mark? I think they're usually our neighbors. Are they building a wall?
Well, I mean, whoever's your neighbor on the digital playa. I mean, yeah. But hey, let them come in and do their world and then be placed
We're
where
just
obviously
sorry, we didn't send them anywhere.
But
How do you know
put
who your neighbor is in the digital world?
well, you're gonna
Well,
see it
we're
on the
in the same
BRC playa when it opens. You'll know, and then they'll know too because they're placing. So that's why I was saying you give them their little admin account, to give them a terraformer role in all our worlds, and then they'll just pop through and do it for you. But if we did it as porta-johns, which I could turn his porta-john thing into a kit item, share that kit with everyone, and then you can just pop a porto up and put the portal in the porto. And so my idea was, I mean, when you get up and leave a camp to go to the porta-john, normally you'll come out and you just wander off to the next camp. Like, so it's a nice in between. So if everybody, and I was going to put my own spawn points at the Hug Deli, we're going to be in porta-johns too. So you spawn in a porta-john and you leave via the porta-john. And more people should do that.
Neuron, where are you going to be VJing?
Well, I don't know. So I'm trying to figure out who's actually who's the placer for video people, for like, you know, DJs.
Well, I just found out today that I'm supposed to schedule my own events for my club, which I did not know about until today.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I was wondering, because it seemed like unlikely that they were going to schedule all thousands of
yeah, no, I got a big old spreadsheet, and so basically it's at this point it's a wide open, pick a time of day, man.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. I'm very happy just to do it one.
Are you DJ? Are you VJing and DJing, or just VJing?
Well, that it's to be decided. I'm with a crew of people that we do like a bi-weekly dance party. So I was trying to line up something for all of us, because we have like a whole system, Zoom system, where I already have like, you know, 30 people that come to our dance party. I just want to be able to place our dance party in the virtual world.
Nice.
And it seems simple enough if we just do our usual Zoom party and then just do it through YouTube Live. It's cool. But I'm also very happy to, I would love to DJ for another DJ.
Yeah, come to Disorient. We're pretty open too. We're just streaming music in right now.
Oh, cool. So I just contact you directly. I'm just, you know, trying to figure out how does one get scheduled.
The buck always stops here with the text.
Okay.
Yeah, I think at this point the official answer is talk to the camp owners and the camp designers, and that we're the ones that do it. So
yeah.
Or our stage managers, which anybody got an extra one of those around?
I don't know. Yeah, I've become a stage manager. And the social media, man, I'm like, I build things. I don't do this stuff.
When you say stage manager, do you mean like you're calling the DJs and stuff? Because I could, like, I'm trying to figure out even how to diversify myself right now.
Sound check? I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, wrangling and scheduling, talking to them. Like I was saying, like I'm the guy that's like waist deep in the ship's engine. You know, I'm not the guy scheduling the entertainment. I built the thing. I don't want to also have to like run it.
You gotta pass the megaphone.
Yeah.
Well, we'll also have to figure out how to install boot camp before Monday. Oh no!
I remember doing it. I don't think it was that hard. It wasn't really that bad. It's sort of, you know, it's built to be installed. It just does its thing, and then you load up, and it's like, hey, welcome. What do you want to boot here? Want to boot
I have
there?
to find 20 gigs somewhere on my hard drive.
You're gonna have to dig into your porn collection, man. Get rid of some of that. I'm sorry.
Oh no, man! I've had that since '94. Come on.
There's much higher quality stuff out there these days. Those old porns, they're like thumbnails at this point. Those little videos.
My friend.
Little pixelated porn.
Can't beat the classics.
And then you're on Windows. And then the fun starts.
Yeah, fun with your Wi-Fi drivers.
Oh, who was talking about DJ Bot? Because I was looking for that, and all I could find was like a little plastic robot that's online. Is that like a website, DJ Bot?
No, what we meant was what we're calling a bot it's not really a bot. We're just calling it a bot because it's a secondary account that no one's really operating. It's just sitting there being a useful tool.
Okay.
So it's really just get a second email, sign up for a second AltSpace account, log in with a different machine, and let that thing be your audio relay while you play on your machine or headset.
All right. I get. Yeah, now it makes more sense. I mean, that's what we do with Zoom. So yeah, that I was like, what? There's a DJ bot.
I felt like a lot of that explanation was a little like confusing, even because I know the process is much simpler than it sounded.
Well, the recommendation for Voice Meter, because we've been using Voice Meter on our
I feel like you need a way to say bot on that avatar, because like otherwise people would just come in and try to talk to you.
So what I do is spawn an item. I spawn a big speaker kit item that's non-collidable, and I just put it on top of the bot. So it looks like a giant speaker just floating out in space. But if someone comes up to it, it doesn't look like a person. It looks like a big old thing. If they stick their head inside the speaker, then they'll see like it's funny because I usually look up at the sky, so you just see like. Like it's just this like armless like mouth open because the sound's coming out, just looking up at this guy. It's fun.
Yep. Well, I mean, because I just figured out yesterday when I was talking to you that people who don't walk around without their hands moving are, just using the PC. I couldn't figure out why people weren't like waving.
I kind of wanted to like do a stand-up routine in VR that kind of like mocked the whole old school white people, black people walk like this kind of thing, where it's like PC users walk like this, like,
and how would that?
Oh, it'd be like Quest users walk like this. You know what I'm saying? PC users walk like this.
Yeah. And Vive people walk like this because we're tied. We got to kind of go like, and we got to pull back to the wire attached to us. So.
Hey guys, I have some good news.
Oh, hi.
Yeah?
Gates open.
Oh.
Not to the event, just to Gate World. Gate World went live at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which was about an hour ago. And people are in there.
We get in our cars.
Running around. So it's on.
So cool.
Nice.
I can't believe it, actually.
Should we just move this conversation to Gate? I mean,
yeah, we could just move this
Send me the D lot.
So now when you go to your alt space menu and you go to your living room, the first thing that comes up should be Discover. If it doesn't, click on Discover and it will be right there in front of your face. It'll say BRCvr 2020 Gate, G-A-Y-T-E.
burner invasion
so
of
we've got
VR.
priority placement.
Yay, what? Can you repeat that?
You're not going to miss it. Log into alt space, click on Discover, and in front of your face is going to be the gate.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're not going to miss it. AltSpace launched it. So it's, like any gate, shit changes. So there's stuff that's going to be added. There's stuff that's going to be optimized. So gate is going to be somewhat changing throughout the event, at least until Tuesday.
I'm excited to see. I'm excited. Is the big multiverse statue in there? Sweet. Is it the one that I shaded? Because it looks so cool. It was so fun to do that.
Well, nobody else was shading it. So if it's shaded, it's yours. Black and white.
It looks so cool, guys. It looks so cool.
It's so cool.
It does.
So fucking
Who's the name of the guy that actually designed it?
Mad Dog.
Mad Dog.
Yeah.
Right on.
Mad Dog designs the sign that's at the road every year.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
no, it's an awesome statue.
And he gave us a request. He says, to scale, I want it 100 feet tall. So it's 100 feet tall.
Did it?
Yeah. Awesome.
That's great.
I'm excited.
Well, thanks. I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah.
Athena, where are you in the real world right now?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm in Mexico.
You're in Mexico.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Very close to us. We're in
Yes,
Mexico.
very
too.
much so. You're in Mexico City, right?
Yes, we're the entire crew is from different places. Like, hi everyone, we're like a regional Mexico Burning Man gathering.
Nice.
And we have a bunch of art pieces and still like a little bit lost and tripping. There are two worlds that have been created. One is Mayan Warrior because they're rock stars and they can afford having people to do that. And the other one is Laka Laka and it's still empty. And we have a bunch of art pieces that I have, like, I personally, I don't know, I feel like I listen to you guys and I feel like, whoa,
yeah.
What are they talking about? So I was thinking, I don't know, I just texted to Cause, I don't know, maybe we really need some help too. We have them prepared in Unity. That is not the thing. I was saying that we have these Laka Laka people that are from San Miguel de Allende, and they have people from the States also. And there's another part of the crew that is in Mexico City, and there's going to be a VR hub that we are making in Mexico City. I'm super proud, and happy to say, and I'm very excited because I'm organizing this it's a sort of an event, an offline place where we have to transmit all the best events. So I'm also trying to keep track of what is going on.
Just like Burning Man, the week before.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's not a week. We have been 2 months crazy preparing for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So long, everyone. See you in the virtual dust, the particle dust.
Okay, bye.
See you in the particle system.
Hey, Cos, can I ask you? Like, I don't know if do you hear
Yeah,
me?
what's up?
I was just curious if you have some time and if you have a little bit of desire to assist us a little bit, just
time. What is that? No, what? Yeah, talk to me. I mean, like, just talk to me offline or something. Let me know what you guys need help with, and I'll see what I can do.
How can I reach out to you or
on the Discord?
Yeah,
So just like you sent me a message on the Discord, you can send Cause a message on the Discord.
What's your name
Cause.
there?
Cause.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cause. So if you do
Yeah,
the
whatever.
@ symbol and you just start writing AU, his name will come up and you can click on him. And
thank you so much for explaining all this. We're super new to it. It's like the artists that have never done VR before, and it's a completely different story. I know that there are many like developers who make games, video games, that are very familiar with all this environment, and there are artists that are like kids and
Yeah.
But there are a lot of artists who have, you know, if you can't hit it with a hammer, then they don't know how to build it. And we've been doing as much as we can, trying to connect the you know, computer people with hammer people.
Exactly. That's what I want to do. Actually, we have a programmer that knows how to do things, but he has no like certain vision, certain like precise, like you have to do this. We have files created in Unity, and the other programmer told us that they have to be converted into some other rendering pipeline. I know. I'm not familiar
okay.
with
I know what that means. Yeah.
programming language. I don't know what that means.
What does that mean? Render pipeline is when you start a new Unity project and it asks you, do you want 2D, 3D, HDRP, LWP, all these different things. Those are render pipelines, and all that is basically it's just a group of settings.
Okay.
That's really all it is. It's just like but the 3D one is the one that AltSpace requires because it's the simple one with no extra post processing and other shit in it. So all he's basically asking is to strip out all the extra stuff and get it down to a basic 3D render pipeline, which should be doable.
But why do we need to do it if we already have our projects as Unity scenes?
Well, that's the problem is there are Unity scenes inside of a project with the wrong pipeline, and the wrong pipeline means that the types of settings, compressions, codecs that are being used, everything's not compatible with AltSpace. So you have to put it in the right one so that all those little settings. AltSpace. Yeah. The way AltSpace is built on the 3D pipeline. So you can't have different render pipelines working with theirs because their settings are set one way. So you make sure to have yours set the same way.
To do it. I have to do it, or my programmer have to do it in Unity, or
yeah, it's actually fairly straightforward. What you would do is you'd go into your project and you just export a package of your whole project. That will weed out all the crap that doesn't need to be, and then you just start a new pipeline, import that package back into your project, and you're done. That should be that.
Ah, okay. Well, can I put you in touch with the guys in Discord so you can
absolutely.
text to them? Oh, that would be so helpful. Thank you so much.
Put your programmers in Discord. Make sure they're all in Discord.
Yeah, it would be helpful if we could just talk right to them. I mean, I can
by the link, invitation link that you have.
Yeah, just send them the invitation link and tell them to join Discord.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's no problem.
And then tell them to and then connect them to Cause once they're on Discord, and then they can have.
It's just like, for example, on Discord, I was trying to reach out to Greg because I know that he was responsible for making the Mayan Warrior world, and he never responded to me. Never.
Because Greg is building the entire playa, so he is not on any form of communication other than with 5 people and absolutely nobody else. So he is not on Discord.
Okay, thank you for explaining that. Mm-hmm,
but Doug, does Doug have control? I think Doug also has control of Mayan Warrior.
Because what we have agreed on is that we are going to put some of these art pieces in the world of Mayan Warrior. I send all the links, all the packages to the guys. Maybe Greg had already done something, but we have no, like right now, no control on that. And it's not even about control. I would just like to see if anything has happened or what has happened. But I don't know who can comment on that. And maybe
that would be Justin, the creator support.
Okay.
Yeah. So you just contact creator support at brcvr.org, and Justin will get back to you.
Yeah, I have Justin's email also.
Yeah.
Okay.
Head of the Department of Mutated Worlds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
DMW, new department.
Oh, so the other vehicles that we have, I should also send
Yeah,
him.
I guess so. Why? Yeah.
Okay.
That's technically a world.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's very interesting. That's very cool. Yeah, that's super interesting. Thank you so much.
I don't know. Anything else? Anyone?
So that you guys know, Greg has literally all this week been completely rebuilding the entire, well, not the entire playa. The city of it is still the same template. All those things are still there, but all the art placed on the playa, the look of the playa, the skybox, the like completely rebuilding it, placing all the portals where they're going to go, collecting all the portals, collecting all the low poly versions that are going to go on the playa of camps, of art cars, and assembling it all. And he has to do it. It's not like you can have an army of people working on assembling this. He has to create the whole thing. So that's why I said we kind of took him out of the communication chain, because it's crunch time and he has to get it to work. So, you know, so he's not on Discord. He's not on the Slack. Or we have an inner Slack. The only form of communication we do with Greg happens on private WhatsApp channels, and almost rarely, if never.
Wow.
Yeah, we've left him alone. You're more likely going to see him in world as he's testing things, because he pops in, he's like, how does this look? And then he pops back out and he goes back to working at it. So he's probably in there right now. I know Greg, Doug, and I will all be in tonight, running around just checking to make sure everyone's in compliance, decommodification, which has been the biggest problem in this bringing Burning Man into the digital world. But it's not that bad. Yeah. To be honest, it's a lot less than at Burning Man. So there's you know, speaking of like logos everywhere and people trying to sell things, we just have some stuff that we have to check and see what's working and stuff like that. So you'll probably find us in world tonight and tomorrow. Saturday you probably won't find us, and then Sunday. Friday night you can find us all. Friday night we're having a Friday night party.
That's going to be fun.
That should be so much fun. It is the grand opening of Playa Alchemy, which will blow your mind.
Did you see the little video, the little snippet preview that Alex Kidman posted?
Where's the video?
Alex,
I think it's on his Twitter.
It's also on BRCvr. If you go to our Facebook page or our Twitter, we retweeted it. Hate that word.
Tweeted it.
I don't see where the gate is. I'm looking brcvr.org. No, it's not this one.
What, the gate? The gate is
on AltSpace.
You have to log into AltSpace to get to gate, either on your computer or in your headset.
So I have to have my personal account.
Yes.
Okay.
Gate is our announcement that gate is open is going to come either later tonight or tomorrow morning.
Personal account as opposed to what?
Hi.
So you need to log into AltSpace, like you're going to go into BRCvr. And when the menu comes up, you click on Discover and it'll be right there in front of you. Not on the website.
Okay, it's just like I'm on Mac and
Oh, so have you not been in BRCvr yet?
No,
No.
never.
Okay.
Oh.
So until the Mac client is available, or you can load Parallels or Boot Camp and then put Windows on your computer, you can get in that way.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
Don't worry about it. In a few days, by the grace of Larry, Altspace is going to have the Mac client ready. We are
Really?
so close. And I wish Jason was actually on this call, because I have to say they have pulled a miracle, and everyone should give kudos to Altspace and Microsoft, because you do not develop a program, a PC-based program for Mac in 4 months. You do that in like 2 years.
Yeah.
To work on your client. And they pulled it off in 4 months. And there's going to be bugs.
I can also tell you this: there's official posts from the ASVR team from just about a year ago saying that there are 0 plans for the Mac client. So we are the reason they got the client.
That's awesome.
It was me actually.
Yeah. Awesome.
I was in VR. And I'm relatively a Luddite. I mean, I'm not. I understand a lot, but I really don't compare to the team here. I have not built my own world. I don't understand how the back end works. It's all magic. And I like it being that way, because then I can be in total amazement all the time, because I don't know how things work. But it's like the first time you go to Blue Man Group, you're like, oh, and then for all the burners, we're like, oh, it's LED, whatever. It's, you know, yeah, okay. Whoa, and then the person next to you was like, oh, how do they do it? Oh shit, I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about?
Well, about the technologies that are not necessarily available for everyone.
In VR with the head of Altspace and one of the, Alex Kipman, one of the VPs at Microsoft. And you should watch his TED Talks, by the way. Go look up Alex Kipman on YouTube and watch his TED Talks. The man's brilliant. And so I didn't know who he was, really. And I didn't actually know who Altspace head was, Keegan. And Greg and Doug were introducing me to them, and they were super excited. And this is back in like April. And they were super excited. They're like, oh, anything you need, anything at all. And I said, we need this to work on Mac, because if it doesn't work on Mac, the burners ain't coming. And Greg was like, well, you know, you can't tell them that. And I'm like, no, but it's true. And Keegan said, it is true. And that was when they realized they had a monumental task ahead of them. And
I didn't know they were working on it for this long.
Kudos
That's
to
awesome.
them. Seriously.
It's going to happen by Sunday? Soon. Wow.
Everybody do whatever form of programmers to solve all the problems. Like send whatever prayer, deity.
Wouldn't that be just easier to send to all the Mac owners?
Yeah. It was just this morning that Doug posted the uploader that works to upload to Mac, and there's still no way to test it for us. But he said that Altspace confirmed that they were getting the uploads, they were working.
For like objects, 3D-dimensional objects.
So you have to take your world, your template that you've created, and you have to upload it, and it formats when you do that. And so you have to format it for Android, which is what your headset is, the VR headset. You have to format for PC, which is, you know, the desktop. And now you have to format for Mac. And it's just clicking buttons. It's not a big fucking deal, but you just have to remember to click all 3. And then it uploads to Altspace, and the programming for PC, Mac, and headset will work.
To clarify, not all the headsets are Android. It's the ones that plug into, like the Rift is.
Oh, right, exactly.
But the Quest and Go are Android.
Yeah, the Quest and Go and Android, everything else goes through the PC. You're right, thank you.
How do you know that? Where can I look for this information? Which headset is compatible with what?
If you go to BRCvr and you click on About Us, and then you click on Frequently Asked Questions, all the information is there.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, BRCvr About Us, Frequently Asked Questions, or FAQ.
I'm looking at it, yes, thank you.
And then there's also, if you go to BRCvr Get Started, there's a button for how to play in the digital dust. And that will give you all the directions on how to go from like Oculus to PC to Mac, like how to get everything set up, all the steps of how to get to everything. That's on there. There's a lot of resources on the website. There's a lot.
I have some question about live streaming. I just went just a while ago. For audio streaming into alt space, right? So my team was here earlier, but I wasn't here. So there are like a dlive.tv. There's a YouTube Live and also audio bots. Is there a particular one that's easier for DJ setup for for OBS, or they're all equally as good? I'm gonna stream it from Hong Kong. I'm in Hong Kong. I'm from Hong Kong here. So yeah, I'd like to hear your comments before I try all of them.
Get here late.
Cause, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I can throw down that real quick. Just to let you know, so you have the options. You have a YouTube Live, Twitch, and an audio bot. Can you hear me? Is everything good?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
It got weirdly quiet. YouTube Live and Twitch are going to be done through the multimedia console. Both of those should be pretty viable options. So if you can get whatever you're streaming to one of those platforms, then you can pull it in here pretty easy. If otherwise, the audio bot thing is the most reliable. But it does require you to have two accounts. One's going to always be on PC, and that's going to be where your audio is coming from. And then so you would play on a different account. Like you can't do both on the same account.
Yeah.
So that's why we call it a bot. It's not really automated. It's just a separate account that is not being used for anything other than audio.
Okay. All right.
I shared the guide again in the chat, so it's the most recent link. So in that guide, we'll have all the information about how to set up the media console, how to set up the DJ bot.
So. Honestly though, if visuals are not important to you, the audio bot is the best way to go. It's easy to set up. It's the most reliable. I do it myself. It's the one I prefer.
Wait, you're saying visual is not important? You mean I can do live visuals too?
Yeah, through Twitch and YouTube Live, sure. But if that's not necessary, the DJ audio bot is a slightly better and more reliable source. Just because the only reason being that the audio is tied to the video when you're streaming from a video site, you have the audio tied to video. So in a graphically intensive program, when the video lags, the audio is going to skip as well. But if the audio is on a bot on a separate source, if the visuals lag, you're still going to hear clear audio.
Okay. Yes, that's very helpful. Thank you.
So I need to get to work. So I need to end this call.
Okay.
Cool. I think you guys should.
I'm gonna go to Gate.
Okay. In here.
Go to Gate. Go play.
Yeah. Go check it out.
Cool. Oh, last question. So you mentioned about Discord. This Discord, right?
Yeah.
So where can I find more information on
all
Discord?
in the chat.
Here, I'll grab the link from the chat.
Yeah, let's see if we can find.
Okay.
Are you able to see the chat? I came in here once and I wasn't able to see the chat history for some reason.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, here we go.
I'll just post it again.
You can't see
Nope,
before you
sorry.
in.
Sorry, Jess, I posted that to you.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, there you go.
Save chat. Thank you.
Yeah, hit the 3 dots, save that chat.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what we
Got
do
it.
instead of reposting.
Not just save, but also open it, because you're gonna not find it that easy. It's packed somewhere inside, hidden in the Zoom thing, no?
No, the chat, when you save it, saves it as a file on your computer.
Yes, I see that it saves it inside Zoom, inside some folders.
It's just the documents folder.
It's just the documents folder.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. You totally rock. I really love what they're doing. It's so amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's just
Yes.
awesome. You guys are
you
awesome.
can choose where you want to save the chat, and you can save it in any folder you want. But it defaults to your documents. It creates a folder called Zoom, and all your Zoom videos or whatever all go to that same folder.
Hmm.
And where the videos are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you record, yeah. Okay, guys. Have a good night.
Great.
Have a good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night, guys.
See you at the
Bye bye.